So step one of how to teach your dog to lay down. So that's padding their paws and elbows out and laying their chest fully down on the floor. So we're going to take our treat in our hand, we're going to lure. And to start with, but wait a minute please. To start with, all we're going to do is we're going to make it really simple for the dog, and we're going to break this behaviour down into tiny, tiny little bits. So to start with, all I'm going to ask you to do for this first step is just to lure their face down towards the floor and then mark and reward. So we're not doing the full down position to start with, we're just doing the first little bit of it. So it will look like this. Good. So we're just asking for that chin dip. Good. Now Worcester does already know a down position, so he will start padding his paws forward a bit, but I'm just trying to break this down for you so you can see the little elements of it. Good. So have in your mind what your criteria is, have in your mind what your dog dipping their chin looks like, and as soon as you see that picture, mark and reward, because if you don't know what it looks like, then it's really difficult for them to know what they were expecting to do either. Good. Sorry, I can't do that one. Good. So that's step one. So step two, teaching your down position. Very good. Eventually you will get it on verbal cue like this. Step two to teaching your down position is to do as we did before in step one. You're going to lure your dog's nose all the way down to the floor this time, and then you're going to pull your hand out a little bit. So you're going down, straight down in between their front paws, and then pulling your hand out a little bit along the floor. So you're creating an L shape. Now, what to do if your dog's bum comes up? If your dog's bum comes up, you do not mark and you do not reward for that, because that's not what we're after. But then what you do need to do is then evaluate, okay, I need to make this easier for them, I need to break this down even further. So if you went down to the floor and then came out 10 centimetres, go down to the floor and come out 5. Okay, so make it easier for them. So I'll show you that now. We'll step up. So I've got food lure in my hand. We're going to go down to the floor, come out a little bit, good. Now it's unlikely that your dog will go straight down to a down position as Worcester's done here. However, if they do, brilliant, lovely. But it might not happen to start with, and that's absolutely fine. Oh. Good. Up. You're a buffoon. Ready? Good. So it's a bit tricky to show with Worcester because he does already know what he's doing. Up. Good. So just try and show you a final time with him in more profile to the camera so you can see. And we go down to the floor in between his paws and then come out. Go down to the floor. Good. So that's step 2 of your down. So step 3 of your down position is to do as you're doing again before. So you're lowering your dog's face all the way down to the floor in between their front paws, and then you're pulling out. And now you just pull out a little bit further. So then it makes their elbows bend, they pad their feet forward, and the chest hits the floor. Up. So I'm taking my food lure. I'm going to go down in between Worcester's front feet, and then I'm going to pull directly outwards. Good. So the elbows and chest hit the floor, I'm marked and rewarded. Up. You're in a funny position now, really. Good. Sit. There we go, ready? So I go down and out. Worcester's quite enthusiastic giver of a down position. Very good, well done. Well done. So that's step 3. Step 4, you can now start to add your cue word down. So the reason we wait till we've got to this far in the behaviour is because we don't name it until we love it. So until it is what we want it to be, we don't add the cue word for it. So the way we start to add our cue word is like this. So we will go down, good, down. So we mark with good when the elbows and chest touches the floor, and then we say down, good, down. Up. down, up, good, down. So that's step 4. So step 5, we now move that down cue further backwards in the sequence towards the beginning, which is where it will eventually be. So that step is like this. Down, good, nice, up, down, good, up, down, good. So to reset your dog in between repetitions, Worcester knows the up cue, but what you can do is just throw a treat away from your dog so they will get up and then they can come back to you. So that's step 5. So step 6 of your down is to say your cue word down and then do your luring. So we've moved the down cue to the beginning of the sequence now. So I'm going to say down, good. I'm still going down in between his front paws and I'm pulling out my hand. Up. That's not the most helpful position to sit, is it? Down. Good. Nice. Down. Good. Up. Down. Good. Well done. Nice. So that's step 6. So step 7 is working towards removing that food lure from your hand. So you'll still be performing the same hand gesture, which is working towards not having the food in our hand to assist our dogs into the position. So to start with, what I want you to do is every other repetition. So I want you to do 1 with, 1 without, 1 with, 1 without. Then you'll progress on to doing 2 without, 1 with, 2 without, 1 with, etc. 3 without, 1 with, 3 without, 1 with, 4, until you can get 5 out of 5 consistently without any food lure in your hand, but doing the same gesture and then marking and rewarding and paying for your pouch. So up. So I've got nothing in my hands, down, good, I'm paying for my pouch. It also helps when you give them raw from your pouch if you put it on the floor as well, because then it helps to keep them down there. Up, up, down, good. I don't know where the paws came from in that one. Up, down, good. Worcester's always been a bit of a body slammer for doing it down, I don't know why. Up, down, good. So marking and rewarding at the very moment his chest touches the floor. Up. So that's step 7. So step 8, once we've mastered the removal of the food lure and our dogs are used to the picture of us being on the floor with them and doing this gesture, we'll then work towards us being more stood up, so that we don't have to, every time we wish to cue it down, we don't have to kneel down on the floor with them, which is rather inconvenient. So the next step of this, now you've been kneeling on the floor or sat on the floor, I want you to then elevate your position. So I want you to then be, if you've been kneeling on the floor like I have, you will then be kneeling up like this. Okay, so we'll do the same again. Up. So now I'm a bit high, my position has changed, the picture for Worcester, what I look like is different, but my hand gesture remains the same, and we're going with no food lure. Down. Good. Up. Down. Good. So the next step of this, step 8, is to then be in a half crouch over position. Down. Good. Feed from your pouch, put it onto the floor, keep them down there. Beginnings of your down stay. We'll step up. So a half bent over position. Down. Good. Down. And then from there you can be in a fully stood up position. Up. Worcester. Down. Good. That must hurt. Up. Back, go back. Back. Good. Worcester. Down. Good. Up. Nice work. Good, Debbie. And that's step 8.